So is it in any way dishonest? No, it's as transparent as I can possibly be. I'm here talking to you like an open book. You're a smart guy. You're the prosecutor, okay?
You better believe you.
Okay?
Hey, Vic, you better believe I am. Hey,
So,
but guess what? You are the professor when it comes to anti-doping issues, right?
Well, didn't I tell you when I emailed you back? I said,
yes.
You're the student and I'm the professor.
That's correct.
You know, there's two types of smarts: school smarts and street smarts. I'm street smart about boxing.
Well, guess what, Victor? You're looking at a guy who has a combination of all three. I am book smart, business smart, and you're going to go to street.
I'm so glad.
Street smart. I got the suit on to look good. Hey, Vic, I got the suit on today to look good for you. But my street acumen.
You do look good. You do look good.
Yeah, I'm from the streets, but God changed my life around. Quick question of something you said the last time. On this channel, you was in an interview. You talked about something that perked my ears up, and I want to get your take on it.
Sure.
When I asked you about, I think a super chat may have asked you, what are some of the things that Crawford meant when he said the words, and I quote him, "I use certain things with SNAC that other fighters don't use." You clarified it by saying there are times where you have a surgeon that's on staff that you use to be able to help Terrence Crawford get iron pills if a prescription have to be issued for him, obviously over-the-counter iron pills on top of the SNAC product. You also talked about going to the board of VADA to be able to clear something. And you were talking about a prescription. I want to make clear, so I don't want to assume. Therapeutic use exemption, is that one of the clearances that you basically need for Terrence Crawford if his testosterone is low or if his iron is low, to get an exemption approved by the VADA administration so that you could do what you do with the supplements?
Okay, let me say this. I did not ever at any point get a therapeutic use exemption for Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
I have for other fighters. Now we're talking about private medical information that I'm cautious about revealing this. Okay.
Yes, there's a HIPAA law.
There have been a couple of times during camp where there have been minor injuries, okay, that have required me to get a therapeutic use exemption from VADA. I guess I can give you a couple names. But
no.
I'm not going to.
Hey, listen. No. We respect HIPAA law, and I understand. I was just asking because when you said you had to get a prescription approved through VADA for Terrence Crawford, I didn't know.
I've done that. I've done that in my career here in the last 14 years twice.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
fair enough. Because I know somebody, when they heard you say his iron was low and different things of that nature.
It may be. I might call a doctor. The Dr. Monson, Chris Monson, is an orthopedic surgeon that is a part of the SNAC staff. And let's just say, without naming names, but you ask about Crawford, that there may, if there was a sore knee or a sore elbow or something, it might be something like Voltaren gel that you buy on Amazon, okay? But it's not what it is. As long as it's legal, it's what I go to a doctor and I say, well, what is the best thing that we can do over the counter? So whether it be, there are many different types of supplements. I'm not saying that Terrence had low testosterone. I don't want to disclose anything about him. I'm just giving you examples that, it may be, if we see as an example. So you're talking specifically about when he said, I do other things.
Certain things, yeah.
So he knows that when he gets the box of some of the stuff is from SNAC, most of it are SNAC products, but there's other products in there too, okay? And these may be things that we don't sell, that we may have found through testing that he needs. Or we might sell iron, as an example, in a hypoxygen form that's 10 milligrams per capsule. But somebody who needs a higher dose, a therapeutic dose for the first 6 weeks to try to replete their body stores as quickly as possible before you go to maintenance dosage, I might recommend it at 25 milligram. And that may come from a company called Solgar, that's a gentle iron that doesn't cause you to be constipated, that's very bioavailable for him. So he just saying that, listen, what he does when he gets the box, not everything comes from SNAC. I'm sending it to him. I'm recommending it to him, but it's not the SNAC brand. And I believe that's what Terrence meant.
Okay, fair enough. I want to ask you something, because you've been, like you said, 14 years through the whole process. You've been around longer than that since you claimed that you changed your life around, since you got out of the federal prison camp. I had a question. I stumbled over something that was interesting that I didn't know anything about. I didn't know that you had some kind of dialogue with Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez. We all know who he is. Great MLB player. To my understanding, in 2012, this is all public record. He came to you, and I don't know if Romanowski brought him to you, but he came to you.
Romanowski picked him up at the airport and brought him to me. Drove him to the SNAC. Yes.
Right. So you did an interview with the Daily News, and they actually quoted you by saying Alex Rodriguez came to you for legal substances, but hypothetically, the topic came up for him to receive performance-enhancing drugs from you. What happened in that situation?
No. He asked my opinion about this one or that one, and these are things that there were certain. Back then, there was a doctor that he was with, as well as Tiger Woods with from, no, not Bosch, but yeah, he was with Tony Bosch too. But there was another doctor, Anthony something from Canada, I forget.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
So we talked about some of these things, but he was not asking me to provide those to him. I guess there was already, through testing and other discussion or investigation of him and Tony Bosch. And so he was looking for, what can I do that with legal performance enhancing substances? So did he come? Yes. Did we end up testing his blood? Yes. Did I end up making recommendations to him and providing him with supplements? Yes. But that was the extent.
Now, what is the process? I heard you say that just now about Alex Rodriguez. You said it the last time you were on here about Clarissa Shields. You said it about Terrence Crawford. You just said it earlier about Boots. What is the significance? Oh, also, of course, you was on Grand Basinger, and you said that Sugar Shane Mosley went on the freeway, and of course, he went to a doctor to get his blood tested. What is the significance of testing athletes' blood when they get with you directly? What does that mean?
I try to describe it like this. If you were going to take your family on a trip across country on Route 66, right? Don't you think it would make sense to pay attention to the gauges in your car? The gas, the temperature, the compression, the etc. So I look at this as like the gauges, or it would be similar to when you take your car to the auto diagnostic place and they hook it up and they tell you, here's this cylinder's got low compression, you got a vacuum leak, you got this stuff. By doing the testing of about 50 parameters, it's actually exactly 50 is where we start. You look at the hematology, which is the red blood cells and all about oxygen transport. You look at the immunology, which is the white blood cells, and that's all about their immune system and ability to deal with any sort of virus and so on. You look at the anabolic hormones, growth hormone, free testosterone. You look at the overtraining markers like CK or creatine kinase, which is a direct measurement of muscle tissue damage. You look at all the nutritional elements. So we're taking this information, and every boxer has a different biochemical profile. So when we see that there's these, like another one's LDH, lactate dehydrogenase, when you see these markers of overtraining are high, then you need to reduce the training load, the number of days you train, and incorporate more recovery. And I call it active recovery, because they're not just doing nothing on days off. They're like riding on a bike, breathing 68% oxygen. So they're trying to accelerate the healing and tissue repair and recovery process. So you have active recovery. So this information tells us what to do, what they need, how much they need. So what can I say? Most boxing people, trainers, they don't do this.